Viewers, last year the future of the DMK party and successor to Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin shocked peace-loving Hindus by calling for the eradication of Sanatana Dharma. We all know, viewers, what was said. I am not going to go over that ground simply because, viewers, it's painful. Today, roughly 6 months after Udhayanidhi Stalin made those remarks that outraged Hindus, the Supreme Court has called him out for abusing his right to free speech and not ignoring the consequences despite not being a layman. The Supreme Court said, and I quote it, viewers, "You have abused your right to free speech. You have abused your right to profess faith. Now you are exercising your right to judicial recourse. Do you not know the consequences of what you said? You are not a layman. You are a minister. You should know the consequences," unquote. Now, viewers, the Supreme Court's observations are welcome, even though they are nowhere near as scathing as the top court's justices had been when adjudging Nupur Sharma's remarks that hurt the Muslim community. One wonders why, viewers. But perhaps that's a question we will ask another day. We will also ignore that the Supreme Court didn't pull up the Tamil Nadu police for not proceeding suo moto to register a case of hate speech against DMK minister and scion Udhayanidhi Stalin. Especially as the Supreme Court had once ordered state governments to do so. You will all remember, viewers, the Supreme Court lashing out at the establishment in many states for not doing enough to curb hate speech. It was in that context it had scathingly ordered state governments to act suo moto whenever and wherever against hate speech. What the Supreme Court did instead today was to remind the DMK scion of the consequences of his words. I just showed you what the Supreme Court had said, viewers. Indeed, the Supreme Court's invocation of consequences puts the DMK under the scanner for not disciplining Udhayanidhi Stalin. Questions can be asked. In fact, its approach is vastly different from that of the BJP in the case of Nupur Sharma. Let me, viewers, put this into context for you. Udhayanidhi Stalin, in that particular matter, the Supreme Court said, "You're not a layman, you should know the consequences." In Nupur Sharma's matter, the Supreme Court order read, "She has a loose tongue and has made all kinds of irresponsible statements on TV and set the entire country on fire," unquote. The DMK reaction, viewers, leaves us short or leaves us overwhelmed. Let's put it like that. It is yet to suspend or take substantial action against Udhayanidhi Stalin, who is a member of the Stalin cabinet. The BJP reaction, on the other hand, was to suspend Nupur Sharma indefinitely pending investigation, inquiry, and of course, viewers, a clean chit from the courts. The matter is languishing before the courts. Of course, on the inaction front, the DMK is a repeat offender as it has failed to take decisive action against a number of its leaders for insulting Hindus and their faith. A. Raja, a DMK member of parliament, he had said Sanatana Dharma is similar to HIV and leprosy. Hinduism is the biggest menace to India. Hinduism only breeds untouchability. Viewers, nothing really happened to that gentleman. K. Ponmudi, Tamil Nadu minister, he said India alliance formed to defeat Sanatana Dharma. Can you imagine, viewers, if the BJP had said that it was formed, the NDA was formed to defeat Islam, what the reaction would have been? Any person in government or in the BJP, a member of parliament, etc., would have been asked to go. But not so in the DMK, viewers. Mr. Ponmudi remains where he is. TKS Elangovan, DMK spokesperson. He said Hindi turns people into Shudras. R. Rajiv Gandhi, DMK leader, said must adopt Periyar's model to eradicate Brahmins. That was, viewers, a direct invitation to all sorts of action against Brahmins. Hate speech, viewers, all of these are examples of hate speech under the law. In sharp contrast to the DMK's reluctance of action against its own party, viewers, the DMK has never failed to crack the whip against dissenters or opposition leaders. And there are several examples of this. BJP leader S.G. Surya was arrested in Chennai with great alacrity for a post claiming that DMK is curtailing free speech. April 2023, the Supreme Court dismissed Tamil Nadu government's plea against Madras High Court order allowing RSS marches. So they were very quick to jump in and circumscribe the RSS right to take out marches, which of course the Supreme Court eventually came down heavily on. March 2023, 23-year-old was arrested in Chennai for sharing a critical viral video on DMK government's budget, if you please, viewers. Basic rights are being denied selectively. Let's open this up, viewers, because some questions I told you needed to be asked. The Supreme Court bench has wagged a finger. Has the time come for the DMK to stop giving a wide berth to individuals like Udhayanidhi Stalin? I mean, that's a fundamental question. Let me first begin this evening with Dushyant Sridhar, who's a Vedic scholar. Mr. Sridhar, fundamentally, the Supreme Court speaking up. Yes, you could say that it has come 6 months too late, and perhaps it could have gone a little further. But a beginning has been made, which do you think will make the DMK come under some pressure or be forced to answer some basic questions?
Namaskaram, Rahul, and namaskaram to all my viewers. At the outset, very respectfully, I would like to state that the apex court, the Supreme Court, is not doing a great favor by taking up the case, because when a sitting minister of a government of Tamil Nadu says that Sanatana Dharma is akin to malaria, dengue, and calls all sorts of names, a sitting minister saying such names about a civilization, about a religion, and the cognizance being taken so late is not to be jubilant about. That said, well, better late than never. Second point, I don't think I would have been jubilant either if the remarks were of the apex court was made even 4 months before, because my jubilance is not if somebody reprimands Udhayanidhi Stalin. It is about the very thought process of this ideology which has been existing in the last 60, 70 years in the state of Tamil Nadu. Just not one statement, Rahul, maybe with the advent and the rise of the Indian media in the last 15, 20 years, and especially channels affording to make news, something that happened south of India in the last 10 years, people across the country make a hue and cry about these statements made by people belonging to the Dravidian ideology. But for the last 70 years, the Hindus in the state of Tamil Nadu have been at the brunt of taking all these statements. And your question was, Nupur Sharma was suspended. What will happen to Udhayanidhi Stalin? He will be garlanded. He will be given a title. He will be made an icon. He's already won. So I don't think you should be expecting any kind of suspension or dismissal. I think we will be living in an utopian land if we expect so. Because the ideologue, Periyar, and all his followers have made obnoxious statements on the religion, about the deities, about the books. Books have been burnt. Idols have been broken, chappal malas have been drawn. What do you expect? Any etiquette from such people? So all that I can say is the Hindus of the state have to rise and have to give a befitting reply. It's not about abusing and coming on Twitter and writing on the wall. It is about saying enough is enough.
So let me bring in Dr. Raman. Dr. Raman, does the DMK's reluctance to act against Udhayanidhi Stalin all these months, I mean, I don't think anyone anticipated the Supreme Court to say something different from what it has said today. It has brazened it out, as you know, over Udhayanidhi Stalin. And today, of course, you have seen the Supreme Court rebuking him roundly. Some people say he may not have gone further enough or far enough, but that's a different matter and it's a different debate. Given that, would you then agree to what the BJP says or others like Mr. Annamalai have said in the recent past, that there is state institutionalized bias against Hindus in Tamil Nadu?
Look, Rahul, the question of the DMK acting against Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin does not arise because Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin is the DMK. For all practical purposes, he is the chosen heir apparent to the chief minister and his father. So there is no question of the DMK acting against him. Second, the DMK has been saying pretty much the same thing for the last 50 to 60 years, including when the BJP at one point of time formed an alliance with them and they were members of the cabinet in Delhi. When too they have kept making the very same statements that they have made now. So I think it's a little bit thick to say suddenly now, yes, we want to sort of paint the DMK as an anti-Hindu party. I have no sympathies for the DMK. I think that some of the statements they have made are atrocious and deserve the strongest condemnation. But my point is they've been saying the same thing for the last 50 years and suddenly this becomes an issue. So clearly there is an attempt to politicize this. And anyway, what the Honorable Supreme Court has said today are observations made in the court. It's not an order or it's not a judgment. And they have, I think they've said that they would be hearing this case on next Friday, if I recall correctly. So I think that whether it is Mr. A. Raja, whether it is Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin or many others from the DMK, such statements have been made repeatedly. The late former Chief Minister, Mr. Khanna, once asked which engineering college Lord Ram studied in. So I think when the question was asked about the Ram Setu bridge, so I think that we have to understand that this issue at this particular point of time is being politicized. And in fact, the caption that you're putting here was Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, the DMK leader's response was to a tweet which I had actually put out, to a post that I had put out. He had responded with that. So much of it is unacceptable, but clearly the issue is being politicized.
But
Dr. DMK will not do anything.
Dr. Raman, that could be said about a large number of other statements that the BJP leaders have made in the past, etc., etc. Is politicizing something to draw attention to it a bad thing? And if it is not a bad thing, then should not the DMK take action, even though Udhayanidhi Stalin is, as you say, the DMK. He is the sun that shines bright across the DMK. Fair enough. He might be. But does that absolve the DMK? And does it not strengthen the notion that the DMK really doesn't care about Hindu sentiments? It doesn't rate Hindus.
No. One second. Let's be very clear, Rahul. The DMK wins elections because of the votes of a substantial proportion of Hindus. So they know that this rhetoric is not going to cost them votes. In fact, it plays to the gallery.
You're not answering my question. Forget about what they believe, what they think. I'm asking you on an issue of principle. I'm not asking you, sir. I'm asking you on an issue of principle. You said it is being clearly politicized. What's wrong? Hathras, for example. Let's just analyze this for 30 seconds. When the horrible crime happened in Hathras, when there was talk that that crime was being covered up by the state administration, the entire opposition landed up. They literally were tripping over themselves to get into Hathras. And people, the BJP said, oh, they're politicizing it. And you said, what rubbish. This is a search. I remember this. This is the quest for the truth. And they should allow these people to go into Hathras, etc., etc. Politics is part and parcel of raising an issue. Is it not, Dr. Raman?
No, that is absolutely fine, Rahul.
So fine. So set that aside. Then I'm asking you, the inaction by the DMK, is it significantly suggestive of the fact that they don't rate Hindus? It's a very simple question.
No. They know that the Hindus who vote for them will continue to vote for them, and it's not going
now
to
look at the dichotomy, viewers. Had this been a BJP person saying this against a person of the minority community, what would the likes of the left have said in this country? They would have said, they don't like Muslims, they don't want Muslims to be equal stakeholders in our society, therefore they say this. But when it comes to the other lot,
be asking that question to the Hindus.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Continue to vote for this party.
I don't know. Maybe they won't. Who knows? I don't know. We don't know what is happening on the ground. But anyhow, Sanjiv Verma,
Tamil Nadu is
the reaction has been tonight.
78% Hindu.
No, fair enough. The reaction has been tonight. Sanjiv Verma, that you're politicizing an issue. You have been in partnership with the DMK in the past. The DMK has a long history. Dushyant Sridhar has pointed out this history. You didn't mind then. Why are you minding now? Just because there's an election round the corner and so on and so forth. You heard the response. Could you respond, please?
Dushyant Sridhar set the tone of the debate. He's a learned scholar. He has his viewpoint. I just have a couple of things that I want to bring forth to your audience. First and foremost, I'm glad, albeit a bit late in the day, but the Supreme Court has castigated in no uncertain terms the bigotry of Udhayanidhi Stalin and Abhishek Manu Singhvi. I will not say he ran with his tail between his legs because that would be so impolite. But Abhishek Manu Singhvi was tongue-tied for answers. Don't forget that the Supreme Court actually asked Udhayanidhi Stalin that, you make a mockery of free speech under Article 19(1)(a. You make a mockery of Article 25, which gives freedom to practice your religion. But you still have the audacity to use Article 32 of the Constitution to seek refuge after engaging in rampant bigotry. Obviously, the Supreme Court did not use as many words, but this was the sum and substance of what the judgment was today. So I'm glad that the Supreme Court has taken cognizance of Udhayanidhi Stalin's bigotry. Point number one. Point number two. I remember when this entire Sanatana Dharma, episode escalated. People from Udhayanidhi Stalin and from the other side, the non-BJP side, from the other side of the fence, they said, oh, you know what? Udhayanidhi Stalin did not compare Sanatana Dharma to dengue, malaria, AIDS, COVID, leprosy, what have you. He was actually castigating, condemning, criticizing the caste hierarchy within Sanatana Dharma. He is opposed to the caste hierarchy within Hinduism. So let me tell your audience something, Rahul. I always do my homework and come. When the DMK goes to Tirunelveli, they go to Ramanathapuram, they go to Madurai, they seek votes in the names of the dominant Nadar and Mukulathor communities which are present there. When the DMK goes to Dharmapuri, Salem, Karur, Krishnagiri, they seek votes in the names of the Vaniyar community, which forms 37.5% of the population in Tamil Nadu. When they go to Coimbatore and they go to regions like Tirupur, Salem, Namakkal, they seek votes in the names of the backward Gounder community. When they go to areas which are adjoining Andhra Pradesh in Tamil Nadu, they seek votes in the names of the Vokaliga, Gowda and Naidu communities. When they go to areas in Tamil Nadu adjoining Telangana, they seek votes in the names of Rajus, Naikars and Reddys. So the limited point is this: if there is one party which uses the caste hierarchy within Tamil Nadu to play vote bank politics, it is the DMK. So for the DMK to be waxing eloquent that they have nothing to do with the caste system is a whole lot of balderdash. And don't forget, when they go to rural Chennai and Vellore, which have the highest percentage of Dalit population, there they invoke the Dalit card. But last but not the least, before I end, I know I have taken a bit of time, but this needed to be said. There is another very interesting...
You always do.
Thank you. There is another very...
Dr. Raman, that's not... Why? So what if someone does? Please. You also got your time. I never interrupted you. I asked you 3 follow-up questions. Please.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Raman. You were being sarcastic, but I really couldn't care less. Now, Rahul, tell me who are the people who are giving us, bhashan on Sanatana Dharma and Hinduism. And on this channel, but your colleague Anand Narsimhan, I was in a debate with him, and this particular point which I made, this had gone viral a few months back. I'll reinforce that. Not because of wanting brownie points on social media, but this needs to be said. A. Raja contests Lok Sabha elections from a reserved constituency for scheduled caste, Nilgiris. And this man says he does not believe in the caste system. Does he have the guts then to not contest from Nilgiris, which is reserved for the scheduled caste? A. Raja is a crypto-Christian. Udhayanidhi Stalin is a crypto-Christian. T.R. Balu, the MP from Sirupurumbudur, is a crypto-Christian. N.K. Stalin is a baptized Christian. Then you have the likes of E.V. Venu, who wanted a separate Dravida Nadu. He's their public works minister. He's a crypto-Christian. So, यहाँ बैठकर जो खुद baptized and crypto Christians हैं, I have nothing against crypto Christians, Who are they? What is the locus standi to give bhashan on Sanatana Dharma to Hindus who form 82% of India's population? Isn't that ridiculous, if not more?
Well, those are accusations made by Sanjiv Verma in the context of building a robust argument according to her. But let me tell you, viewers.
Those are not accusations, Rahul.
Right, those are facts. Okay, you're saying they're facts.
They are not accusations.
Okay, so Sanjiv Verma, okay, let me just open this up because this is important. Today, Sanjiv Verma can say these things with a certain degree of certitude because the Supreme Court, no less, has ticked off Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin, viewers. We can accuse the BJP of playing politics, we can accuse X and Y of being apologists for this and that, we can indulge in all the whataboutery at our disposal, like Tehseen might do in just the next 2 minutes. But it is the Supreme Court that has taken note. And it did take note, Tehseen Poonawalla, and I want you to also pay attention because I'm coming out to you. I'm taking you back now to July 1st, 2022. You might want to Google this also. The day the Supreme Court hauled Nupur Sharma over the coals, the Congress put out a statement, a long-winded statement, and it said very clearly, and this is in context of the remark that the Supreme Court passed, that Nupur Sharma had single-handedly spread the fire or whatever. And this is what it said. The ruling party, which is the BJP, should hang head in shame. Congress's response to the SC observation against Nupur Sharma. The court has very rightly called out the BJP spokesperson for being single-handedly responsible for igniting emotions across the country and that should apologize to the entire nation. This is Mr. Jairam Ramesh, the very eloquent Jairam Ramesh. And he says these remarks by the Supreme Court, which resonate with the entire country, should make the party in power hang its heads in shame. Now, Tehseen Poonawalla, where is the Congress party? Where is Jairam Ramesh today when the Supreme Court has been equally scathing? Now, you could agree if they are equally or not, but has been scathing, let's use that word, against Mr. Stalin. Why is Rahul Gandhi, who is spreading love, not hate in this entire country, as he says, not speaking up and saying the DMK should hang its head in shame, the DMK government should hang its head in shame, and why isn't he calling for the resignation of Udhayanidhi Stalin as one of the key coalition members of the DMK government? Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Rahul. Good evening. Thank you for having me on the show. So before we begin, I want to put a caveat out that it's my case on the hate speech, which is through which all these observations later on various benches of the Honorable Supreme Court made, including in Udhayanidhi Stalin and in Nupur Sharma. So the hate speech case is fundamentally my case from where all these directions then come in.
Wonderful.
Point number two, as you know, I don't support what Mr. Stalin said. I think what he said does amount to hate speech. You know that. And I don't think that freedom of speech allows you to want genocide of people, including burning. I also want to put one more thing out, that if in our nation, if any religion has seen reforms, the most reforms, and Dushyant is here, has been Hinduism. I mean, the simple fact
all
that
this is brilliant. Thank you, Tehseen, for giving Hinduism the certificate.
I don't need to give. I'm no one to give it. I'm too small. I'm not even.
So then tell me, your party, which is so big.
So the point is,
huge party, represents India, represents the Rajniti of love, as you say, the politics of love. Why hasn't it spoken up to say exactly what it said to the Modi government? Hang your head in shame to the DMK. Just simple. Please answer that question.
They did. Kamal Nath did. Surjewala
today.
They did.
After the Supreme Court. Today.
The question is, did the Congress condemn it? The answer is yes, the Congress condemned it.
Hang on. Where is Rahul Gandhi? Where is the architect of this alliance? Number one, name me 2 Congress leaders from Tamil Nadu who said this. Name me 2.
No, I don't think anyone from Tamil Nadu said it. I think that's a mistake.
I see, because they, viewers, have a completely different...
I'm a guest on your show. You must allow me and Dr. Raman to make our point.
No, but I'm asking you, where is the statement today?
I will. We will. But if you keep interrupting me, what your audience feels is we don't have answers, which is not true. So I will make the point. I've understood your question. So allow Dr. Raman and me to make our points. I agree. You're right. You are right on the hypocrisy of all political parties. What you're not saying, Rahul, and I don't mean you personally, what nobody is saying is this hypocrisy in Tamil Nadu extends to the BJP, not just Tamil Nadu, in Delhi, the BJP.
And what happened to those two? What happened to those two MPs that made those hate speeches? They haven't got tickets.
Exactly.
And what happened to Sadhvi Pragya, your bugbear? She herself has come out and said, I don't think the Prime Minister liked what I said. So there are consequences, as the Supreme Court says, to people's actions. But there are no consequences, viewers. For DMK science. Breaking news coming in. Breaking news coming in. Prime Minister has reacted to this very Supreme Court order today, viewers. Let's listen in.
परिवारवाद का एक स्वभाव है। ये परिवारवादी जो पार्टियां होती है ना, उनको परिश्रम से दूर दूर तक का कोई नाता नहीं होता है। वो मेहनत करना अपनी जिम्मेवारी मानते ही नहीं है। इसलिए परिवारवाद अपने साथ अहंकार भी लेकर आता है। और जब कोई परिवारवादी सरकार में किसी अहम पद पर आ जाता है तो उसे लगता है कि देश और देश की जनता उसकी गुलाम है। वो अपने पद की गरिमा तक भूल जाता है। आज हमने ये भी देखा है कि कैसे देश की सबसे बड़ी अदालत सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने डीएमके परिवार के एक मंत्री से सख्त सवाल किए हैं। करोड़ों लोगों की आस्था का घोर अपमान करना भी परिवारवादियों की एक निशानी है, पहचान है, आदत है। और मुझे अफसोस है कि जिन्हें अपने अहंकार में जनता की भावनाओं तक की परवाह नहीं है, वो तमिलनाडु सरकार में प्रमुख पद पर बने बैठे हैं।
Well, it's almost as if Dr. Raman today read the mind of the Prime Minister, because this is exactly what he said at the beginning. He said they will not touch the DMK. They will not touch the DMK's Udhayanidhi Stalin because he is the DMK. And I think the Prime Minister has hit the nail on the head. Just 1 second. I need to take a short break. I'll come right back to you, gentlemen.
Can I make one? Yeah.
No, 1 second, please, sir. I need to take a short break. I just need to make one quick interjection before I go into that break, viewers. Look, the shoe today is on the DMK's foot and also on the Congress's foot. The Congress needs to make up its mind. Its leaders say that we respect Hindus, we respect Janyudharis. And when the Supreme Court speaks up, viewers, it is incumbent upon the Congress that represents, or at least aspires to represent, Indians from all across the nation to come out and tell its partner in power in Tamil Nadu that they need to act against Udhayanidhi Stalin. If it doesn't, well, viewers, then they'll be accused of being Chunavi Hindus, as some people say. Let me tell you, Mr. Bhiduri, Mr. Verma, Sadhvi Pragya, all of them made off-color remarks, communal remarks. They were targeted constantly by the opposition. Today, viewers, they've not been given tickets. Sadhvi Pragya said some nasty things about Mahatma Gandhi. The Prime Minister came out and said it pained him and he would never forgive her. And viewers, no ticket to her. She ain't coming back.